Episode 80. The Hunt for the Goblin Merchant. It began with a flurry of excitement, but ended in quiet finality. With the two major guilds, Blue Brook Pavilion and Herb Garden, backing off, the other capable guilds quickly caught on and wisely stopped wasting their time. The remaining stragglers, still clueless about the situation, kept up their relentless assault. In the end, they all just ended up contributing to Tyrannical Ambition's DPS. Finally, the system announced that Tyrannical Ambition had secured the first clear of the Goblin Merchant. At this moment, both Blue Brook Pavilion and Herb Garden remained perfectly calm. If the guild name is attached, it means the first clear team didn't include any players from outside the guild. But Lord Grimm had just left Blue Brook Guild less than 5 days ago, so he obviously couldn't have joined Tyrannical Ambition. Then he must have left the party before the boss went down. Naturally, his name wouldn't appear on the leaderboard. He kept Tyrannical Ambition's record clean. Blue River was completely contemptuous of this. Everyone knew full well that Lord Grimm had been the key to Tyrannical Ambition taking down the Goblin Merchant. Blue River was convinced that the tactic of using OT to control the boss's positioning wasn't something the men of Tyrannical Ambition could have pulled off on their own. After all, his own Blue Brook Guild couldn't do it either. Then, without a doubt, Tyrannical Ambition, being in the same boat, couldn't pull it off either. They were relying entirely on Lord Grimm's command. Blue River now fully acknowledged that Lord Grimm's power was on a completely different plane from theirs. This was a master who operated on a completely different level from ordinary players. How could someone this strong be so completely unknown? Which veteran is this, playing on an alt account? Blue River certainly wasn't going to think of Lord Grimm as some newbie. A commander this formidable had to have serious game experience. No way was he a rookie. Blue River opened his friends list and calmly sent a message to Lord Grimm.
Hey man, when do you think you'll hit level 23?
Everyone's very concerned about this, huh?
Blue River wasn't surprised. The reason for everyone's concern was simple. You need to be level 23 to enter the Burial Grounds dungeon. They were just waiting for him to level up so they could hire him to smash the dungeon record. Tyrannical Ambition got a huge taste of success today, snatching that Goblin Merchant. They've definitely realized just how valuable this top-tier player is.
Hard to say. We'll just have to play it by ear.
You absolutely have to come to us for the Buried Bones dungeon.
We'll see about that.
Yeshu didn't give a definite answer. Blue River's expression was rather tragic at the moment. He could already foresee that in the 10th server, for the sake of setting and protecting records, this Lord Grimm would become an object of fierce competition for the major guild players. Given the cold, calculating nature he'd seen in Lord Grimm, it was likely to become a simple case of the highest bidder winning. I don't have the confidence to control this situation any longer. With that thought, Blue River logged out of the game for the moment. After swiping a new card, he logged back in on his main account, Blue River Spring Snow. At this hour, players in every server, including the Heavenly Domain, were busy using up their daily dungeon runs. But the moment Blue River and Spring Snow logged in, they still drew the guild's widespread attention. He's one of the guild's top 5 experts, and wasn't he supposed to be clearing the 10th server? Why did he just pop back here out of the blue? The first person to message Blue River was Springing Willow, the guild leader of Blue Brook Pavilion. His message was simple, 4 big question marks.
Busy. Yep.
It just means we're in a dungeon right now.
Let's talk.
In a hurry?
It's both urgent and not. I just wanted to discuss something with you.
Wait.
The equal sign means, and so on. Springy Old's messages were always this terse. It wasn't that he had nothing to say. He just couldn't be bothered to type. This guy had great mechanics and was obsessed with them. He'd rather perform a few pointless moves to boost his APM than lift a finger to type in chat. The most famous example was when someone spammed the World Channel to curse at Spring Willows. And even though he was clearly online, no one saw him respond. For the leader of a major guild, that's not quite right. Even if you personally can't be bothered to argue, as the guild leader, if you're getting publicly called out and shamed on the World Channel, the whole guild loses face. The guild members brought this to his attention, but Springy Old said he'd already replied. Everyone was so baffled. Later, someone actually went and scoured the World Channel, and they really found it. Amidst the flood of messages on the World Channel, Spring's Intent Elder had only replied with 3 characters. 2 of which were English letters. Get lost, you moron! The entire guild worshipped him to the death, and so SB became the supreme 3-word mantra of Blue Brook Guild, used to flood chat screens and curse out opponents, a tradition that continues to this day. Blue River and Spring Old were old acquaintances, so he was used to this style. Without another word, he really did go wait on the side. Over 10 minutes later, a message came in from Spring's Intent.
Where?
West Mountain City.
West Mountain City was one of the major towns in the Heavenly Domain. Because its name also contained the character for West, Blue Brook Pavilion had chosen it as the location for their guild headquarters. A moment later, Spring Warmth returned. When the two met, Spring Warmth spoke without any abbreviation at all.
What happened?
A top-tier player has shown up in the 10th server.
How good are we talking?
Springing Old was a little surprised that Blue River had come running to report to him, all because of a single expert.
I couldn't tell just how high his level was.
What class?
Not yet.
You haven't chosen a class?
Yeah, I've learned skills from a bunch of different classes. It's like playing an unspecialized.
For an unspecialized, the early game is definitely strong. The skill advantage is just too obvious.
Beyond that, without mid to high level skills, your damage output just can't keep up, and you have to carry too many weapons. The high encumbrance really drags down your speed.
The real killer is, you can't even play it past level 50. Who even plays an unspecialized character these days?
That's what I thought at first too. But his strength, it's not just limited to that. You have to admit his skill advantage in the early stages, but this guy is strong across the board, from his mechanics and game theory to his team coordination and shot calling.
Of course, anyone who dares to play an unspecialized these days needs to have comprehensive knowledge.
As he spoke, Springing Willow himself felt this explanation was a bit of a stretch. Just being a person with comprehensive knowledge shouldn't have shaken Blue River to this extent.
The situation on the 10th server now, he got 3 first clears in the starter village, and because he joined our team, the dungeon record for Frost Forest is ours. And thanks to his involvement, the first clear for the Goblin Merchant went to Tyrannical Ambition. He snatched the first clear for the Blood Gunner right from under the noses of the 3 major guilds, leading a bunch of randoms.
Blue River felt these achievements were convincing enough.
He's played us before. First he helps Tyrannical Ambition, and then he snatches the Blood Gunner right from under the noses of the 3 major guilds. Which side is he on?
He's not on either side. I tried to recruit him, but he had 0 interest. I've figured it out. This guy just wants to work like this, build up his reputation, and cash in big.
This guy's a bit odd. What's your name?
Lord Grimm.
Lord Grimm. Has there ever been a top player with that name in this server?